Hi, my name is Huyền Thanh. I'm an 11th grader specializing in chemistry at Hanoi Amsterdam High School for the Gifted. Today, in this talk, I want to share with you my thoughts on the lack of platform to discuss the issue of gender equality and its consequences for women. When I was in primary school, I asked my dad why all famous inventors I knew at the time, Isaac Newton, Einstein, etc., were all men. He explained, that's because women have the most important role in humanity. They give birth to babies and thereby preserve the human race. None of us would be here without women. At that point, I was amazed by his answer. It made perfect sense to me that women were so busy with having babies that they did not have time to specialize in anything. However, I was brutally wrong. It was only when I watched Emma Watson's speech at the United Nations about he for she, an organization fighting for gender equality, that I learned of the phrases gender discrimination, gender equality, and feminism. My understanding of gender equality was superficial at the time, and that speech motivated me to search for the reasons behind women's underrepresentation in the workforce. I realized that my 6-year-old self was so naive back then. Fertility was not the sole reason why women have faced discrimination and injustice for centuries. While searching for the writings by women, I was overwhelmed by their touching and traumatizing stories. What surprised me the most was how much I could relate to their experiences, from unconscious mansplaining by my male friends to being told that a girl cannot study subjects like mathematics and science. The lack of platform to talk about gender equality, either at home or school, among family members and friends, men and women, made me and my female friends ignorant of our values and rights. I realized that by being silent, we take these issues as the norm, gradually accept them as real-life facts that women have to face, and do not strive to change our attitudes or those of others. This silence stems from deep-rooted beliefs about gender norms in Vietnamese culture, which also undertakes my parents' understanding. I think women together can bring about changes by starting small. First, we should be vocal about our struggles and problems with gender discrimination by discussing it with others surrounding us. No matter how traumatizing discussing about those experiences can be, no matter how vulnerable we are, I think that women ourselves can create a platform to share and sympathize. I want my female friends to share with me their views of being mansplained. I want to openly talk about how I experienced street harassment with them. I want my mom to share her views on why she thinks women need men to protect us in our lives. These conversations are so much more important than the story themselves because they invoke feminine empathy and power. Just like how I overcome my emotional hardships while being surrounded by my female friends, I do believe that the empowerment within women can fundamentally change their attitudes. I truly believe that changing the way women view themselves is the most important goal above all, so that women will embrace the challenges and accept their opportunities. The future I want is the future in which women get equal pay and equal opportunities at work. I dream of a world in which girls fight for their education and pursue their interests regardless of social prejudices. I dream of the world where women can act according to her genuine self-conceptions and unique abilities.